Michael, thank you so much for your time. Let's jump straight in. Great Place to Work has spent decades researching, certifying what makes a great place to work. What makes a great place to work in the era of AI?
In the era of AI, I think a great place to work is one where people are doing work and they're excited and looking forward to the future, a future with AI. And so they feel like AI is going to help them do more and actually lead a better life. That's a great place to work in the era, on the dawn of the AI era. And so they feel like AI is going to help them do more, become more valuable, have more great options and choices in their life, be able to grow for themselves and families, however they might define that, and that they're just going to become more valuable and useful over time. They're going to grow, and the firm that they're with or the firms that they're with are going to grow as well. So it's really a growth mindset, something that makes things better for them and for others at the same time.
And so how is this different? I mean, do you feel like the nature of work is changing dramatically and the quality of leadership, or are we just taking everything that Great Place to Work has learned and just moving it into a new space, a new time?
I think how it's different is that AI has, people have, at least two reactions to AI. And at the extreme ends, there's a lot of hope. And that people are very optimistic about all the things that are going to happen. And then at the other end, there's a lot of fear. And so the world that we're living in, we're working with people and maybe even personally experiencing ourselves. I know I sometimes do some of both of those things. So normally you have a fear of my performance and how others are judging my performance, the performance review. You have a fear on economics. Am I making enough to take care of myself and my family? You have a fear of, is this job going to be here for a while? And am I going to be able to grow and progress? And is our firm or organization doing well? So I'll call that the business fears. Now there's a new one, which is the AI fear or the AI opportunity. That's quite different. So trust, which we've measured for a long time, means more now than it's ever meant, because if you trust the organization and the people that you work with, you have less fear. And then that makes it so that this is kind of a business transformation that maybe you've experienced before.
Yeah. Let's talk about trust. So trust is sort of the foundation of your belief in what makes a high-performing organization a great place to work. You have built a trust index, and it's sort of really everything pivots around this notion of trust. When you look at various surveys right now in companies about do your employees trust your company's strategy, the trust tends to be quite low, and often much, much lower than the trust of the leaders. Why do you think that is?
I think that as you move around the world, you see different statistics, but overall, trust is lower right now because of AI. So that people are fearing that bad things are going to happen to them, mainly because they aren't getting access to AI tools, they aren't getting trained. Some of their leaders aren't really working and getting proficient of it. So it seems like there's a whole lot of talk about something, yet nobody's really preparing you or even getting prepared themselves for this transition. So the fear level is high on a global basis. As you look around the world, it's higher in some countries than others, but overall, the fear level is high. And when you're high in the organization, like an executive, you have less fear than somebody who's perhaps on the front line, where you're kind of away from the decision making. The fear level is higher, and none of this is good. None of this is good. It affects teams and how they work. It affects people. It affects their mental health, their emotional well-being, their financial well-being, because things are feeling less certain. And we've got a world that's full of a lot of uncertainty and fear. So this is a really bad time to be transforming with AI. But yet this is the time that we're sitting in. And so resistance comes with fear. There's a one-to-one correlation between fear and resistance. And yet this is a time when we need people to adopt new technologies. So this is not a great time for AI based on the realities and things that are going on in the world.
So how would you advise a leader that comes to you and say, Michael, we have these really aggressive plans with AI and I just can't get our people on board. They are just not excited about this. They're fearful. They're stuck in the past. Help me. What should I do?
I would acknowledge the fear and I would try and understand the fear. I would not say you shouldn't have fear. And if you have fear, you're not going to do well. Those things don't work. Maybe in the movies, but in real life, they absolutely don't work. People want to know that you are empathetic, you're interested, and you don't want to talk them out of their fear. You want to understand it so that you can give them data and facts to let them know that you understand them and maybe you have some fear in common, and then you can develop ways to work together to really build trust together. And so that's the important work. And it requires a leader to connect with a person, perhaps in a way that they haven't connected before. That the mandate, the work plan, the roadmap, all those things are really, really, the customer, really, really important. But this connection is more important now than ever. And we know people want to grow. And so you want to try and help them feel like this is a great place for them to grow. And then you want to be transparent in your communication. So, for example, if you say, there's going to be no jobs lost when we implement AI. Everybody knows that's not true because there's job loss without AI. So job loss, those things happen in business. So don't make lofty comments, but try and stay in the real world and be transparent. And then if somebody says, hey, do you think I might lose my job due to AI? I would say it's possible, but that's not what we want to happen. It's possible. If our business grows and we meet our financial targets and you're a good performer, you'll be here. You will be here. This is what I believe we should believe. I believe this is what we want, and we should be able to communicate to people. If you're in a situation where you really don't know, then just say that.